Welcome to the Supporting Self-Esteem workshop. Poor self-esteem is a problem we are seeing more and more of, and we know lots of young people can struggle with their self-esteem, and this can lead to negative thinking styles, which can then in turn affect our mood and mental health. My name is Anum Munir, and I'm an educational mental health practitioner for the mental health support team. I'm just going to start by hopefully clarifying the relationship between North Point and Open Minds. In Calderdale, we have the Open Minds partnership, which includes lots of different services which offer different types of support. The organisation that I work for is called North Point, and we are the lead provider in the Open Minds partnership, and we deliver what you might know as the CAMHS services for children and young people, alongside our colleagues in the NHS SWIFT. They work with more complex and long-lasting mental health difficulties, but together we provide one-to-one specialist mental health support. At North Point, we also run the FPOC service, which is the first point of contact for all mental health and emotional wellbeing referrals in Calderdale. They can also offer advice and support, so if you need any advice or you have any concern about your child or young person's emotional wellbeing, then you can give them a call. They might offer you some advice, book you in for a call back, signpost you to a more appropriate service, or encourage you to make a referral. They can also offer you any risk advice if you have any risk concern. We also have the Open Minds website, which has lots of good resources and is a good starting point. We are one of the neurodevelopmental support and assessment pathways, and we also have an MHST team, which stands for the Mental Health Support Team, who work within schools in Calderdale. The aims of this presentation is to understand what self-esteem is, to understand why it's important, to identify signs of high and low self-esteem, and to learn some strategies that can be used to support your child or young person's self-esteem. Let's begin with what is self-esteem? Well, there are many different descriptions of self-esteem. It can be the degree to which we feel satisfied and valued, the evaluation of our own worth, how much we believe in ourselves, how much confidence we have in ourselves, and how able we feel we are. It's important to note that self-esteem is not just about our physical appearance. It's also about how confident we feel. It's about how we see ourselves, feel about ourselves, and think about ourselves. Someone with good self-esteem will generally think that they are a good person and deserving of love and support, and they might feel that they can find success in life. Whereas someone with poor self-esteem might feel like they are not good at things and things will not work out for them, and that they don't feel like they deserve love and support. As children and young people go through developmental stages, you'll find that with most experiences, there will be dips in their self-esteem. Self-esteem involves confidence. So poor self-esteem may lead us to feel unconfident even when doing things we have done before and know that we can do it. It's also about recognizing and valuing our own skill, what we are good at, what our talents are, and what our hobbies are. It also involves being able to express our own ideas and opinions and believing that what we have to say matters and is worth hearing. It also includes being okay with getting things wrong, how comfortable we are with this, how resilient we are and able to bounce back and realise that our mistakes do not define us. And also treating ourselves well, being kind to ourselves and practicing self-care. And finally, having a positive body image, feeling comfortable with our physical appearance and how we look. Now we are going to think about why self-esteem is important. It can impact academic achievement and behaviour. It can impede relationships and affect how motivated a young person feels. It may restrict a young person from trying new things or taking on new challenges. Other things include the ability to resist peer pressure and decision making. Self-esteem can be impacted by stressful or difficult experiences in life, such as absence of affection, lack of encouragement, criticism, sarcasm, ridicule, not receiving praise or recognition, and experiences of bullying or other difficulties in school. Continuing on, other factors that can impact our self-esteem include trauma, abuse or neglect, exam stress, experiencing discrimination or stigma, relationship difficulties, and the effects of social media. Talking about ourselves is very important, and how we talk about ourselves to ourselves. For example, if we talk about ourselves in a negative way, then this can also have an impact on the way we see ourselves in the long term. There are signs of positive self-esteem that we can look out for. This includes children and young people having a positive image of themselves. If they are able to make friends easily, if they are confident, if they can play in groups as well as on their own, if they're able to problem solve but can also ask for help, if they share they are proud of their successes, if they are happy to try new things and can manage change, along with admitting mistakes along the way. On the other hand, there are signs to look out for when children and young people have low self-esteem. These include having a negative view of themselves, finding it difficult to make and maintain friendships, lacking confidence, feeling lonely and isolated, struggling with change and avoiding new things. If they don't manage failures well, they might seem to put themselves down and use negative self-talk. For example, they might think they are stupid, ugly, unlikable. They may struggle to feel proud of themselves and feel they could have done better, and might compare themselves negatively to their peers. Now, thinking about the impact of low self-esteem, children and young people may start to feel low in mood and worried. If not managed, this could lead to depression, feeling lonely and isolated, feeling worthless, experiencing panic attacks, feeling the need to please others or putting others' needs in front of their own. It might also include engaging in risky behaviour, blaming themselves or taking responsibility for other people's actions. They may struggle to say no and to set healthy boundaries, and may find it difficult to make decisions. Resilience is a key factor when managing positive self-esteem. Resilience means being able to cope with life's ups and downs and being able to deal with adversity and stress without becoming overwhelmed. Resilience can be impacted by lots of factors. These include experiencing secure early attachments, having a strong sense of identity and belonging, being able to communicate well, being able to set personal goals and work towards them, building good problem-solving skills, experiencing growing autonomy, and being able to manage negative emotions and thoughts and move on from them. And finally, being loved by family and friends. Now, we will be looking at how you can support your child or young person's self-esteem. Be positive about them as a person. Tell them what makes them special to you. Value any effort they make. Children will miss out on trying new things if they are too worried about making mistakes and not succeeding. Reassure them that making mistakes is a normal part of life and that it's okay to make mistakes. It happens to everyone and it's how we learn. Try new things. Start with small challenges and then increase it. Give them praises and encouragement. For example, telling them, well done, it was tough, but they managed to do it. Encourage them to voice their own opinions and ideas. Make sure they know that it's okay if people disagree, as we all see things differently. Set an example. Try to model being kind to yourself, even when things are not going your way. Show them that you can have a positive attitude when faced with challenges. Ask them about the things they enjoy. Ask them to tell you 3 good things that happened to them that day. Challenge their perception. When they criticize themselves, gently challenge this by letting them know how you see them. Discover. Encourage them to join a club or activity. Finding something they are good at and trying new things can provide a boost to their self-esteem. Encourage them to express themselves creatively, whether that's through music, art, or drama. Or could they get involved in a community project that makes a difference? This might help them to develop a more positive opinion of themselves. Unfollow. So social media should be enjoyable and a positive experience. If they are scrolling through and find that accounts or comments are making them feel bad about themselves, encourage them to unfollow. Encourage them to think about what advice they would give a friend if they were having those negative thoughts. We are often kinder to our friends than to ourselves. Remind them of times that prove the negative thoughts wrong. Even small things like when they looked good in an outfit. They could even write these positive moments down so they have a visual reminder later on. Encourage them to write down their best features, the last time they received a compliment or the last time they did something that made them feel good. These might feel like small things, but it's important to recognize and appreciate all the good things about them. This can be done through an activity like the jar of gratitude or through using a positivity journal. Positive self-talk is really important. Encourage your child to practice positive self-talk. It can be a good way to challenge negative thoughts and to build self-esteem and confidence. It also encourages them to believe in themselves. Encourage your child to practice saying some of these positive things to themselves. They could even try it whilst looking in the mirror. Self-care is also really important, so help your child to practice self-care regularly. This means taking time for themselves to do things that they really enjoy. This doesn't need to be an expensive activity, but it could include mindfulness activities or reading a book for 10 minutes or even going for a walk. Here are a few more ideas of activities you could do with your child or young person. You could make an achievement book of the things that they are really proud of. You could get them something to look after. So you could buy them a plant, allowing the child to choose a pot, and it lives in their bedroom. The child is responsible for caring for it. Every few days, discuss the good work with the child. For example, looking at what they've achieved, looking how green the leaves are, and reminding them that it's because of them and how they are looking after the plant. Positive affirmation, doing this with your child. For example, today I'm going to be confident. Today I'm going to be a good listener. Another example is a self-esteem calendar. Ask the child to write one thing on each day that they will do and that they enjoy. Again, as parents, model the confidence. Consider if you yourself are guilty for putting yourself or others down. Your child should hear you talk positively about yourself and others. Again, when appropriate, ask your child for advice. They enjoy feeling that their ideas and opinions are valued. Get them to teach you something. Could they learn a recipe and teach you how to cook it? Could they make something crafty and teach you how to do that? Another example is the I am list. This is a list of good qualities or abilities. Cut and stick pictures from magazines related to this. Then there's the inner child visualization. What would you tell yourself a year ago or a week ago? What would you tell yourself as a child? Having a healthy lifestyle can also impact our self-esteem and emotional well-being. Things to think about are whether they are eating healthily, if they're getting enough sleep, or exercising regularly. We encourage you to try the strategies discussed in today's PowerPoint. If you've tried them and you feel like you need more support, please feel free to visit the North Point Open Minds website. This has lots of great resources and tips for young people. The Open Minds partnership includes different services in Calderdale which offer different kinds of support. This is a list of different services within Calderdale that you could reach out to. We also offer Silver Cloud support, which is an online tool that parents and young people can access. For more information on Silver Cloud, please discuss with your schools as they can get more referral advice from the mental health support team representative. And then these are some other useful links that you can access. Thank you for listening.